We are going to be studying current criminal cases in the Saskatchewan court system in order to apply the learning from Chapter 7's overview of the offences in Canada's Criminal Code. Are you ready for an eye-opening exploration of criminal law in Saskatchewan? The first thing you will need to do is go to the Law Society of Saskatchewan website. It houses the legal cases brought to trial in Saskatchewan as a matter of public record. The link for this site is pictured here and is also posted in the course for this lesson. When you get here, you will notice you have many choices of places to look. For our task, you will need to select from either the Provincial Court, Court of Queen's Bench, or Court of Appeal. At the top of the page, you will be able to select which year you would like to look at, as well as the decisions made within each month of that year. The example here is from the Court of Queen's Bench for the month of January. If you click on each month, more court cases would appear that were decided in that month. For this task, we are focusing on criminal cases. You can tell it is a criminal case by the way it is named. Criminal cases are always the Crown, or society, bringing charges against a citizen. The Crown is represented with an R for Regina or Rex, the Latin for Queen or King, representing the Crown and society. When you are scanning for possible cases to use, look for the ones with R versus defendant in the citation. Once you have selected one, scan it from beginning to end. Try and identify which type of criminal code violation it seems to best fit from Chapter 7. In this example, you can see this case would be an example of controlled drugs and substances, explained in Section 7.5 of Chapter 7. On your task sheet, you are asked to record the link to the case you have selected, as well as provide a brief summary of the case. Think of it as a retelling of the gist of the case to someone who has not read the court document or heard about it in the news. You should, at minimum, outline the 5 W's of the case and include other important details so someone else understands the main idea. You will also need to summarize the main arguments for both the Crown and the defendant. What rationale and reasons does each side offer to help justify their stance? Outline them in the chart on your student task sheet. Both the Crown and the defense, as part of their arguments, will try and bring forward previous court decisions that help illustrate their argument. What were some of the case law examples used to guide how the judge should rule in this case? Provide at least one from each side, if possible, and record in your student task sheet in the chart provided. Towards the end of the court document, you should clearly be able to identify the judge's ruling and decision, as well as the rationale as to how they came to that decision. On your task sheet, summarize the judge's decision and reasons. As well, you should also indicate your personal response and opinion on the ruling in the space provided on the task sheet. In order to get a taste of the variety of criminal code offences that come to courts in Saskatchewan, you will need to find a relatively current court case example from Saskatchewan that illustrates each of the main types of criminal code violations discussed in Chapter 7 and viewed here. Have fun delving into Saskatchewan's criminal court rulings and seeing in what ways our province's courts deal with criminal code violations.